Hey there. Let's talk about something you're probably wearing right now. We're going to pull back the curtain on this super critical but kind of invisible step in how our clothes get made. It's this hidden process that takes a raw plant fiber and turns it into the soft, comfy fabric we just, take for granted. So, let's dive in.
Okay, so here's a weird one for you. Have you ever really thought about why a brand new cotton towel soaks up water like a sponge, but the raw cotton that comes right off the plant? Well, it actually repels water. Seriously, it's pretty much waterproof. How on earth is that possible? What happens to turn that fiber into your super thirsty bath towel? The answer is, well, it's surprisingly simple, but also really, really cool.
So, the whole secret is hiding in plain sight, right inside the cotton fiber itself. If you look at it, it's like 91% cellulose. But the real story, the key to this whole thing, is in that tiny, little 1% slice. That's where you find all the natural impurities. We're talking fats, waxes, pectins, and this stuff basically acts like a built-in raincoat for the fiber. It's what makes it totally water repellent, or what scientists call hydrophobic.
All right, so to get rid of that waxy raincoat and unlock all that amazing absorbent power locked inside the cotton, the textile industry has to do this intense, deep clean. And that process has a name. It's called scouring. And honestly, it's kind of the unsung hero of the entire fabric world. So what is scouring, really? Well, at its heart, it's just a powerful chemical wash. Its one and only job is to strip away all of those natural, waxy impurities that we just talked about. The whole point is to take that fiber and completely flip its personality, from hydrophobic, which literally means water-fearing, to hydrophilic, which means water-loving. And the goals here are super straightforward. Goal number 1, make the fabric hydrophilic, so it can actually absorb water. You got to get rid of all that gunk, the oils, the waxes, even little bits of the plant husk. And maybe most importantly, scouring is all about prepping the fabric for what comes next. It's about creating a perfectly clean, blank canvas that's ready for things like dyeing and printing.
And you can really see the transformation right here. It's a total 180. The fiber goes from this waxy, leave-me-alone, water-repellent state to this super clean, super absorbent, thirsty fiber. This is the change that makes a cotton towel, work like a cotton towel.
Okay, so how does this all actually happen? I mean, it's not like you can just toss raw cotton into your washing machine and call it a day. No, this takes some powerful chemistry and, well, some seriously impressive heavy-duty machinery.
The real magic here is a chemical reaction called saponification. And if that sounds familiar, it's because it's the exact same basic chemistry we've been using to make soap for thousands of years. Basically, the scouring process uses an alkali, something like caustic soda, which reacts with all those natural fats and waxes on the cotton. And get this, that reaction turns the water-repellent fats into a simple, water-soluble soap, so you can just wash it right off. It's amazing. You're literally washing the cotton with soap made from its own impurities.
Now let's meet one of the original workhorses of the scouring world. This beast is the Kier boiler. For like decades, this thing was the absolute industry standard. The easiest way to think about it, it's basically a giant high-pressure cooker, but for fabric.
And when I say giant, I am not kidding. A single one of these can hold up to 5,000 kilograms of fabric. To put that in perspective, that's about the weight of a full-grown elephant. So inside this thing, the fabric is literally pressure-cooked in a hot alkali solution for hours and hours. It's what we call a batch process. You load it up, run the cycle, and then you unload it. Yeah, it's slow, but man, is it effective.
But of course, things get more modern and efficient. Today, a lot of places use a continuous system, like this thing called the J-box. And yeah, it gets its name from that big J shape you see. With this, fabric just keeps getting fed into one end, goes through the process, and comes out the other side all clean and ready to go. It's a constant, non-stop flow.
So let's put these two head-to-head. How do they stack up? Well, the Kier boiler, that's the slow and steady batch process, but it gives you a really, really high-quality result. The J-box, on the other hand, is the continuous, much faster, more economical option. You can even combine scouring with other steps like bleaching, all in one go. So what's the catch? Well, there's a trade-off. The final quality from a J-box isn't usually considered quite as good as what you get from the old-school Kier.
It's not just about the big machines, though. It's also about the chemistry you use. The most common way is alkaline scouring. That's the one that uses caustic soda to make soap out of the impurities. But there is an alternative called solvent scouring. That method uses organic solvents to just dissolve the waxes directly. As you can imagine, each one has its own set of pros and cons, especially when you start talking about cost and how well it works.
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about cotton, but this whole idea of a deep clean isn't just for cotton. Turns out, pretty much all natural fibers have their own unique kind of gunk, their own impurities that has to be washed away before you can do anything with them.
Take silk, for example. For silk, the process is actually called degumming, and its job is to get rid of this sticky, gummy protein called sericin. And then there's wool. For wool, scouring removes a shocking amount of natural grease and sweat. We're talking it can be up to 60% of the raw fleece's total weight. But because wool is more delicate than cotton, you have to use a much milder alkali to get the job done without damaging those precious fibers.
Okay, so after all of that chemistry, all that high pressure, and all that heavy machinery, there's really only one question left that matters. Did it work? How do you actually know if you were successful?
Right? Is that fabric actually hydrophilic now? Did it make the full journey from repelling water to loving it? Well, you don't need some fancy, expensive lab equipment to find out. The test for this is just brilliantly simple.
It's literally called the drop test. You take a single drop of water and you place it on the surface of the fabric you just scoured. If everything went right, that drop of water should vanish. It should get absorbed almost instantly. The industry standard is less than 1 second. It's just this immediate, visual proof that, yep, this fabric is ready for whatever comes next.
And there you have it. Scouring did its job. It created the perfect blank canvas. It's clean, it's pure, and is incredibly absorbent. It's now ready to soak up whatever we throw at it. Which, of course, brings us to the next big question. How does that blank canvas get its beautiful, vibrant color? Well, that's a story for another time.